Hey, what's going on, everyone? If you're new to Intuitive Perceptions, hello, welcome. If you're returning, thank you for rocking with me. All right, guys, so I just want to make a couple announcements before we kind of just get started and get into the gist of your guys' meal, just to kind of let you guys know what's going on. So planetary-wise, this month, Jupiter is in Scorpio and it's retrograde, right? So that's until July 10th. And we also have Saturn and Pluto are both retrograde in Capricorn. Saturn until September 6th, and Pluto is going to be until September 30th. Also, Uranus is going to be, or going to go, retrograde August 7th, and that's going to be in Taurus, but it'll retrograde back into Aries until January 6th, 2019. Also, Neptune will also be going retrograde this month from in Pisces from June 18th until November 24th. Also, guys, regarding the Logistics little special I was doing for you guys, I was going to record new love readings for you guys, but Spirit and my guides told me that those readings that are up there are good for May and June. So go ahead and check those out. There's a link in the description box. Also, guys, I kind of added a little thing here. If you check the description box, you guys can find the link to my Amazon wish list. Now, kind of thought this was kind of a good idea. Anyway, the link is there for you guys. If you guys would like to participate and maybe buy a deck that I'm interested in, I'll give you guys a reading, that comes with that purchase. So just go ahead and check the description box. There'll be a link there for the Amazon wish list. It's kind of a way to get a reading for a pretty good price. So check that out, guys, okay? Also, I added a new service to the website. It's called Career Crux. It's a career reading. So there's a link there in the description box as well to there. And also, guys, a donation link can also be found within the description box as well. So, yeah, I think that's all that I have for you guys. Oh, yeah, this month we're also using the Postcards from Spirit, once again, by Colette Baron-Reid. And we're also using, as well, the Fountain Tarot for you guys' spreads this month. All right, let's go ahead and bless the decks and see what June has in store for you guys, all right? Father God, I open all channels of light, north, south, east, and west, guardian angels of the four directions, high councils who serve the law of one. Holy pure ones, please anchor this space now in your divine consecration to provide every single zodiac sign with the clarity and direction as to which he or she seeks today. And please grant me, the reader, the objectivity to read the cards and relay every single message as they're meant and are intended to be. Pisces, my double fishies. Alrighty, so in terms of traditional tarot, we have the Eight of Swords reversed, the Fool, the Ace of Swords, then we have the Page of Wands, the Emperor reversed, and the Hermit reversed. Here's your postcard from Spirit here. I haven't seen it, so we'll go ahead and flip it over at the end and see what message comes through for you guys. You guys could possibly maybe be dealing with a Virgo, possibly an Aries. I want to say that's pretty much all that I really see here as of now. That could be Sun, Moon, or Rising, or you can have any of those signs in your chart. But besides all that, all right, Pisces. So something has presented itself. Something was a little crazy, and it left you feeling, Pisces, confused as shit. Kind of like you do not know what to do, where to go, how to approach it, how to even begin to understand it. Just all of those confusing emotions. But just by confirmation of the spread here, let's start over here. So, yeah, you are now coming to this point, Pisces, where you are beginning to understand what your next plan, what your next approach, your next course of action is going to be. You are still a little bit unsure, but I feel as though that you work through it now you have somewhat of an understanding of what to do, because you feel like you were losing control. Now, when I say control, I don't mean in a negative way. I say control meaning how to approach things, how to properly delegate your approach or your involvement within the situation, person, place, or thing. So you felt like you were losing that that input or that control of the situation. You also were kind of feeling like you didn't feel brave enough, or you didn't feel confident, let's say, enough to approach the issue. And I'm also feeling here that you let this go on for a little bit. You just kind of, you were allowing things just to kind of run through its, its course, and you were just, I just picked up letting bygones be bygones. Just kind of picked that up for now. But yeah, you were just letting things flow. And it's almost as if you kind of were seeing, or you were coming to the conclusion that it wasn't your issue or your problem to begin with. So therefore, you kind of, there was really no reason to go within and to kind of look for an alternative method or an alternative course of action. You just kind of, okay, I feel as though that the Hermit card was here reversed, and then the Emperor came, and then the Page of Wands, even though they didn't pop out like that. But I'm just saying how I feel the situation, person, place, or thing is kind of playing out for you here, or how I'm reading this. So you kind of let bygones be bygones, right? You're like, okay, well, whatever, it's not really my issue. I'm just gonna let it be. Like that. Like you were kind of dismissive of it. But then all of a sudden, it kind of something came up. And then I'm not saying that you were directly involved in it, but there was an aspect where you became somewhat a part of it. And then you were like, oh shit. And then you were like, damn. And then the reason why you felt like that is because then you may have found yourself not being able to, or feeling like you were out of, you couldn't control the situation. You couldn't, things shifted, and therefore you weren't able to be yourself. Things shifted, and therefore you weren't able to presume as you normally do, if that makes sense. You were kind of, as this went on, you then realized like you were somehow, like I said, somehow involved. But I'm not saying this is your fault, but you found yourself somewhat involved in the situation. Like you were an active participant somewhere down the line. Now, because the reason why I'm saying that is because you have the Emperor reversed here. Now, if this was upright, I would have been like, okay, it would have been a little bit of a different situation. But I'm just feeling like, since you kind of felt like you lost a little bit of control, or you weren't able to, presume as you normally do, that's when you became somewhat of the situation. You became a little bit part of it in a sense, or it was just, there's an element there where you were part of it. Anyway, trying to get these damn cards straight. But yeah, so that's what I'm feeling initially, right? And then, therefore, it led you to a point of trying to understand how to approach this. And that's why the Page of Wands is here, I want to say, for you, because, and it's upright, thank God. So you were kind of like, okay, damn, now what do I do? So you were looking, that's when I believe you went within, and then you looked at the situation, you said, you know what? I just picked up, underestimated this. And you were like, okay, shit, what do I do now? Where do I go? Whoa, and I believe that it brought you back to square one. When I say square one, meaning it brought you back to learning how to control the situation. Or I want to say that you took your end of the responsibility in terms of how little or how much you were involved within this situation. That's when you were like, okay, whoa, now how am I going to approach this differently now? And then I believe that there was a switch here too in consciousness, Pisces, in terms of you, when you realized this, you came to this, conclusion. What I like that I see here is that the Eight of Swords is reversed, so you didn't fall into victim mode too much. Now, you may have kind of had a moment of like, oh my God, what's wrong? Like, had that like little mini meltdown. But then I just feel that you then came to this conclusion, like, you know what? You didn't fall into that victim mode type of mentality. You were like, okay, how can I approach the situation, like I said, properly? And then that's when you then didn't fall into that. You didn't, okay, I just picked up, you didn't take full responsibility for it just for a harmonious outcome. That makes sense. That's really what it is. I feel here with the Eight of Swords reversed. You no longer were walking towards those swords, You stopped and you were like, okay, hold on. Because I feel as though that you had a moment of clarity. It was like a moment of clarity not only about yourself and how you're now going to approach the issue, but it was a moment of clarity regarding the whole situation, regarding this person, place, or thing you're dealing with this month. And you took a different approach, like I said, with the Fool card here. Okay, I'm feeling like because of this switch of consciousness, this is how the clarity came about. And I'm feeling as though Spirit, God, kind of rewarded you because of that. That's when the moment of clarity came in, because when we don't fall into that victim mode and when we, take a step back and we're like, okay, really, what is really going on here? When you choose to take that enlightened road, when you make that decision, that's when the clarity comes in and the truth presents itself. So I'm feeling as though that this was a situation where it easily could have went the wrong way. And Pisces, I'm glad to see here that you could have easily taken or placed yourself in that victim mentality. Because not only did you not really want to enlighten yourself because of the situation, or you kind of felt like because you didn't really think that it was your issue, And I think that kind of helped a little bit as well, because then you didn't place yourself in the middle of that, or you didn't place yourself in the middle of that at the beginning of the situation. And you felt like you had no control, or you felt like you couldn't add anything to the situation which to make it better, And I think that actually worked out positively here for you. But then you quickly came to that conclusion, like, oh crap, yeah, I am a little bit part of it. And because you took that end of the responsibility for your part, that's when the moment of clarity came in. Because I believe that, God and Spirit was like, hold on, good job. You didn't do that. You didn't fall into that mentality. So therefore, you gave yourself, they gave you the opportunity to look at the situation and say, what the hell is going on here? What's really up? And that's why now I feel that the Fool card is here, because, like I said, you then took a different approach to it. You then looked at the situation. You said, it's not completely me. It's other people taking your end of the responsibility. That's when you got the moment of clarity. But what's interesting here is that the moment of clarity was already implemented by you or from you at the beginning of the situation. But I believe that now you see, or at least what to take away from the reading is how important it is to always realize that regardless of, the situation that you may find yourself being involved in, it's, how can I say it? Regardless of the situation that is being presented to you, let's say, you always have to take your end of it, whether that's a tiny bit, however much you were, or the amount that you were involved in it, it's always important to take your end, And this was a big stepping stone for you, I feel, in terms of really taking your end of the responsibility, but you did it in such a positive manner that you now gained clarity. Because I feel like before, Pisces, you may have kind of, you know, either went into victim mode, or you would have kind of went into or had a moment of like, oh, it's all my fault. Oh my God. You know, like one of those moments. Then you would have never gained the clarity. I believe that you would have really exacerbated the situation and made it kind of all yours, even though it really all wasn't yours, you know? Interesting. I'm glad to see that, Pisces. It's pretty good reading. It's not bad at all. When I first, you know, saw the Emperor reverse and then the Hermit reverse, I was like, what? I was like, what the hell is going on? But you're good, you know? And the fact that I see the Page of Wands here upright, it means that, you know, you're working on a solution. You're working on seeing your part or your end of the responsibility, which is fine. As long as we're working on it, as long as we recognize, you know, our involvement in it. Okay, that this will then become upright. And I believe that it has come upright. It's just showing the process as to which things happened. You know, so it's like this. Okay, it's actually, yeah, it's like this, here, to here, to here, boom, boom. That's exactly how it happened. So I'm glad to see that, Pisces. Nice. We like that. All right, let's go ahead and see the spirit card. Let's see what's going on here. Now, if you guys can read it, go ahead and read it along with me. But if not, I'll go ahead and I'll read it for you guys, okay? Because I know maybe probably can't see it. So, Pisces, the spirit or postcard from Spirit says, "Dearest you, everything is in divine order. Even in chaos, there is order. We are always in awe of this. For you, though, on your human journey, things can get disorganized in your mind and physical reality. You need to get rid of the clutter, whether it be too many stories in your mind, too many what-ifs, or fearful thoughts of the past or future. Instead, focus on the now. Empty your mind, clean your house, and throw out any object that tells you an uncomfortable story. Discern what you have, sort, purge, clear, and organize. We want you to have space to fill with something better. Spirit loves a vacuum, as it gives space for brilliant new energy. So let go of what is not serving you and give order to what remains. See them and know their value. Your soul needs organization in order to keep your connection to us and to Spirit free of distractions. You are so adored by so many. We love you. Really know that." Yep. That's what I was getting here for you guys. Get rid of the clutter. And I'm feeling as though that you have gotten rid of the clutter in terms of the mindset. Those aspects that don't serve you, that keep you distracted from the truth. And you flush them. And this, I want to say that this happened like randomly. Like it was almost as if you didn't see it coming. And it was, which is great because that's how we know that change has been implemented correctly, because it wasn't forced. And when we don't force things, that's when everything is in divine order. And always will be. Because it says here, even in chaos, there is order. But we have to remember that we have to allow that chaos to work itself out sometimes. And all that we can do is take our end of the responsibility. All right, Pisces, pretty good reading. Nice. All right, you guys keep up the great work here. And yeah, just noticed this was here. Lord have mercy. All right, Pisces, we'll go ahead and see you next month. And proud of you. Keep up the good work, and glad you took that leap of faith. You always want to take that leap sometimes. But in this time, or upon this circumstance, it shows you and it showed you how important it is to do in order to gain the clarity as to which presents a favorable and discernible outcome. All right, Pisces, we'll see you.